I'm trying out a new planner size. Let's open it with me. If you watched my channel, you know that I really love pocket-sized planners and also A5 notebooks. I love pocket planners because they are so portable, they're so adorable, and they're so easy to take along. They don't have too much space and therefore are not too intimidating when it comes to filling them out or adoring them. And then I also, on the flip side, like A5 notebooks and planners because they have so much room. So if I want to do a longhand journaling or just writing, taking notes, I don't have to worry about space because A5 notebooks are a perfect size of just big enough but not too big. You can throw them in a backpack, you can take them to work. In fact, my notebooks at work are all A5 Moleskines, which I love and always have. But something in me wanted to try something new, and recently on YouTube I've been coming across Sterling ink planner, but in N1 size, which is basically traveler's notebook standard size. And even though in the past you would have heard me tell you that I don't like traveler's size notebooks because they are too narrow, in reality what I didn't like is the fact that they usually come in notebooks that are very thin, have a few pages, and therefore don't offer too much room, and I would have to constantly switch them to a new one. Now the N1 size from Sterling Ink actually offers the best of both worlds. It offers a portable size, which a traveler's notebook is, but it also comes with two sizes, compact and a full year, which has enough pages for every day of the year, 1 page per day. And as all of their common planners, it has quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily pages, which is anything that anyone can want for a planner. So after being inspired by several YouTubers that I will mention throughout this video, I went ahead and checked out Sterling Ink's website to see what offerings they have for N1, and I noticed that 2025 N1s were on sale because we are halfway through the year, and I thought that that would be a perfect time for me to grab one of them and try them out and see if I like them, because if they work out for me, then I might have that same planner for 2026. So let's open with me the planner itself and also the cover that I got for it from Amazon. Alright, so let's first open the planner itself. I'll set the cover to the side for now. So let's open it up, always the most exciting part. As you know, this Sterling Ink is not the first Sterling Ink planner I own. I actually have it in A6 and also in B6. A6 planner, I got it for, I believe, 2024. I didn't end up using it, but because these planners are mostly blank pages that are made of Tomoe River paper, you can use it anytime, which I am planning on doing. And a B6, I use it as my tarot planner, and it has a whole setup, and I'll link to video to it down below so you can check that out. But I've never had traveler's notebook size Sterling Ink. When Sterling Ink came up with a common planner first, that size was not in a lineup, but it is now, I believe, since last year. Along with the planner, I also got the sticker, and these are monthly calendars, which I can put in the beginning of each month, for example, in the daily section. So I decided to grab them to have them. So let me set them aside. And now to the planner itself. I heard that it actually has a surprise edition in the box, which I'm already kind of picking out from here. But let's discover it together. So as you can see, Sterling Ink planners come beautifully packaged in this case, so definitely very much giftable. I really love it. My other planners came in the same way as well. And here you have a little window where you can pick the year that the planner is for. As I mentioned, this one is for 2025. And 1H, because it has weekly spreads, and those spreads are in horizontal manner. I believe first time these came out, they were in vertical, but since due to my schedule I do not time block, and horizontal layout is more practical to me. Actually, in the last month I've been really comfortable in a horizontal weekly. I decided to get this planner in a horizontal weekly as well, and you can also see that it's in this maroon burgundy color, which is so lovely, one of my favorite colors. So how gorgeous is that? And the reason also I got the maroon burgundy color is because it had white edges. These planners also come in gold leaf edges, which I believe one of my common planners is, but I really like just a clean white edge, so that's what I got. Let me take off the cover real quick to get rid of glare. And there it is, so nice. So it is a soft cover, it's very flexible, and this flexibility is actually very beneficial when you have planners that are this thick, because even though you might think that having a hard cover would be nice, having to be able to use the planner by itself, when you have that many pages and you start embellishing them, planners usually get really chunky, and the flexible cover planners are the ones that do really well with being really stuffed, versus when you have planner with a hard cover, it doesn't handle being really thick as well. So because of that, I really appreciate that these come with a soft cover. And as I mentioned, I saw that in a video, these come with this beautiful pencil board that has a calendar year on one side and this beautiful artwork on the other side. As you might know, Sterling E actually started with stickers and beautiful artwork, and now they also have notebooks for the last several years. Look how beautiful this is, and it's so perfect too, because who doesn't love beautiful coffee and some TN here on the image and fall leaves? And since we're in August, having this kind of a cozy pencil board going in the fall, I mean, how perfect can it be? So I'm very excited to be able to have it, especially because, as I mentioned, these planners come with Tomoe River paper. The whole planner is basically in a grid, which I love, and Tomoe River paper is very fountain pen friendly, but it's also very thin, so when you write on it, to have a pencil board is just chef's kiss. So I'm very excited that it came included with this planner. Alright, even though I'm familiar with layout of Common Planner, I have never seen it performed in this size, so I want to see it for myself and of course share it with you. The channels that really inspired me and have wonderful ideas for use of layouts are Stacey's Heart and Plans, Plan with Lee, Oops, I Did It Again Co., Liberty's Schoolhouse Plans, Rachel on Paper, Tammy's Flow, Jennifer Plans, Jackie, Skylar Scribbles, and so many more. I will link to all of these channels in my description down below, so you can check out for yourself all the various ways you can use this specific planner. They are very inspirational and so clever and such great layouts. I mean, I feel very prepared to have this planner in my collection. So let's open it. So over here you have the year and 1H, which is, as I mentioned, horizontal weekly, full year, and full year basically you have page per day. There is also compact, which I believe has half the number of pages if you don't want to have a really thick planner. And it says Common Planner, basically same as you have here on the front cover. Inside here you have your calendar year, so for all 12 months with the year up at the top. You can use it however works for you. I've seen the color coding being used just to mark the days, for example, when it's a payday, or highlighting the whole week if it's a vacation. Of course, just putting stickers on each month as it concluded. And if you have any specific big events, for example, you can put them here in this space here. Then you have just a plain blank spread here. As I mentioned, all of the notebook is done in this, I believe it's a 3.5 by 3.7 grid. So it's grid all throughout the notebook, which I love. If you watch any of my videos, I always tell you that I love grid. It just I don't know, just brings such a calmness and organization and just like order to my mind. So when I saw originally that Common Planner was all grid paper, I was like, please sign me up. So again, this spread is just a plain gridded spread, and I've seen it used for goals, for word of the year, for manifestation, kind of like inspiration page. So the sky is the limit. This is the page for you to begin your year or begin your planner if you're not starting it at the beginning of the year. So basically it's open for interpretation and creation. Then next you have the page here for a goal breakdown. So actually this spread was what originally attracted me to Sterling Inc.'s Common Planner back in the day, is that idea of having this dedicated space to imagine, write out, and break down your goals to be able to complete them by the end of the year. If you've never seen it, it is basically a bigger grid. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so space for 6 goals, and they can be goals in one category or different categories, right? For example, if you want to complete 3 marathons, complete a class, write a book, and I don't know, buy a house, or you can have health and spirituality and education and work and just whatever's important to you. Of course, you don't have to fill out all 6, you can just have 3. But the beauty of it is that you define your goal here and then you break them down into smaller bites, so it's not so overwhelming as goals sometimes are, especially if you plan them for the whole year. And here this spread allows you to break them up into daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, half year, 1 year, and then someday. And then by doing this, by giving you this page here, the system allows you break those goals down, make them more doable, more achievable, and therefore you'll be more excited to pursue them. Then over here, from what I understand, this was added this year. Last year's didn't have it, and that is a yearly tracker. And this spread basically has a 4 grid, 4 square space for every day of the year, and all 12 months are here across. So this is actually pretty neat because even though this book is in the standard size, you're able to see your whole full year across. Now, of course, the spaces are pretty small. So for myself, I was thinking to dedicate this specific spread for the steps I walk every day. To me, having just 4 squares, I believe the best way to use this is to have a one thing that you track throughout the year, and I decided that this one thing for me will be steps. So then for every day of the year I can write them down and see for myself how I progressed, hopefully not regressed, in the daily steps that I'm making, or if I just kept up with my original daily goal. So that's what I'm planning to do here. Again, we are now in August. Today is August 2nd as I recorded. I was actually really hoping to record this video before August began, so then I can start using this planner as of August 1st, but I think we're not too far in, and because of that I will only be able to use this spread really for the rest of the year. Granted, my phone tracks all my steps, so I can really go and backfill all of this if I really wanted to, but just overall my idea to use this is to record steps that I walk every day. And since there are 4 squares, it's perfect because unless I walk like 10,000 and more, but I should be able to squeeze them in here. Now here we get into quarterly planning. So you do have the overall yearly breakdown of your goals right up at the front. And now as you go into the year, you can start breaking them down into quarter, view your year in a quarterly manner, then monthly, weekly, and daily. So quarterly view is first. This specific one is Q1. Obviously this calendar is from January to December. For every quarter you have your priorities for the quarter itself, and then you have space for January, February, March. So for every month of that quarter you are on. So then you can write out overall priorities here and then break them down by month for each month in that quarter. Then additionally here you have your monthly trackers for your habits. So as you can see, these are wider and then you have space here, and basically with this design you can write your habits or whatever you want to track here in a vertical manner, and then you can either fill in with an X, or you can color code them however you want to use this specific habit tracker spread. I personally track about 6 to 7 habits a day, so this is perfect because there are 7 squares across. So I can write here my sleep, my steps, my vitamins and things like that here, and then as I take them or not or forget, I can mark them down. This of course can be also used for mood tracking, where every column is dedicated to a certain level of mood, right? Very happy to very unhappy, sad, what have you. This of course can be also used, for example, for temperature tracking. If you love those temperature blanket, you can turn this into a temperature blanket of sorts, where you can color code the weather that day. It can be used in so many ways, but I'm personally planning to use it as my daily habit tracker. So then overall I can see all throughout the month, and then the quarter and the year, how I followed my top 6 things that I'm trying to track for my health, my well-being. And then we go to quarter 2, 3, and 4. Since I'm in August, I'm gonna start using this planner from this quarter 3 with August. I've been tracking my habits in my ring planner, so I'll be able to actually backfill this July habit tracker, so then I will have this quarter completed, so it'll be nicer to look at. And then once the quarters are done, we are into a monthly view. This is your standard month on 2 pages view that you might see in a lot of planners. This is probably the spread we are all familiar with. And I personally, even though I don't use it often, I do like to have it, especially for future planning. Some people treat it as a future log. Definitely can be used to write upcoming events, birthdays, holidays, vacations, paydays, days off, what have you. It can also be used basically to plan forward, but also note things down. For example, days you were sick, or day you had to leave early, or school events, what have you. You can only imagine. There are so many ways you can use the monthly views. In this view, you have, as I mentioned, month on 2 days. This is Monday start, and your week numbers are right here. So in case if you're tracking week numbers, they are also here as well. As you can see, because you are able to get Sterling Ink Planner in advance, these are provided with 1 month in advance. So when you're starting to use this for a new year, you also have a month leading up to that new year, so you can start future planning or just practice how you're going to use your planner month in advance, because this one starts in December, even though it's January to December type of planner. From what I understand and remembering from the first common planner that I got, the darkness of the lines and the numbers was improved a little bit. The coloring of the lines was made slightly darker this year, so it's easier to see, while it's also gentle enough not to obstruct the view too much. So I think it's a very, very nice balance. And of course, I've always loved the font choices in common planners from day one. They're so beautiful. So you have all 12 months of the year together. And the months that are not 5 weeks long, you always have an extra space here on the bottom, and there is also space on the side, so you can use these spaces again however works out for you. You can put monthly priorities here, or you can do a monthly tracker here if you want to, like for example the hours worked. And then on the bottom you can, for example, color code something here and break it down a little more here if it's not enough space. So for example, you can say school event, and then you can say to back to school night at the 3rd floor, bring forms or something like that. So then the year ends, and you also get an extra month, January, into the following year. So you get 1 month from the old year and 1 month from the year after, which is really nice. Again, you can kind of plan a little bit in the future before you move to the new planner. And then once the monthly views are done, then you are in your weeklies. And this is the part that I'm mostly looking forward to, because as I mentioned, in the last month or 2 actually, I've been really getting into horizontal weekly planner in a little pocket calendar. The more I use it, the more I appreciate having that weekly overview. And when I saw that the N1 planner also now comes in a horizontal weekly, I decided to try it out. And this one designed in a similar way, the way the Hobonichi weeks are designed. I'm just mentioning them because I feel like that's the planner kind of like the most people refer to when talking about horizontal weekly. There are of course other slightly different horizontal weekly layouts, but this one just for kind of quick reference, that if you're familiar with that weekly layout, this one is done in a similar kind of thought. So you have horizontal slots for every day. There are 7 days on this side, and there is a blank page on this side. These are you have month numbers on the top, and then you also have month names on the top and the years. This one happens to go from December to January, so you have 12 and 1, December and January, 24 and 25. And then here you also have a week number for that specific calendar, and here you have week 1. For each day itself you have the date, and then you have the day of the week, so you have Monday, Tuesday, and so on, so their Monday start. And what I love about this is that every day has its own space. There are some weekly planners that even though they have this layout, the Saturday and Sunday are side by side, occupying one small space. This is, for example, you can see that in a weekly horizontal Leuchtturm. One of the things that kind of like made it not really useful to me. I do a lot over the weekends, like recording this video, and therefore it's actually very useful to me to have a full size for each of the weekend days, and Common Planner offers that, which I really appreciate. I also like how nice and bold these numbers are while not being too overwhelming. And in addition, I don't know if you can tell right away, but I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see how smartly this is designed. So you don't just have horizontal lines separating the days, you also have a tiny dots right here, and the same thing as on a blank page here. There are also dots all throughout here, which allows you to split this page in two vertically and then in 3 pieces horizontally. So then if you want to break these pages down even more and split them into more areas for planning, you can very easily, because they already pre-dotted, pre-divided for you to have an even split pieces, which I think is genius. And as you can see, the lines that separate weeks are nice and thin. If you want to divide them vertically, you use these lines. Of course, you don't have to. You also don't have to divide every day. If, for example, you have one of the days that you want to fit more into, you can divide just that day. I love how this spread and design is very free but very structured at the same time. So if you want to use the page as a divided as is, you can, or if you want to divide it further, you can. So I've been thinking of how I want to use this horizontal layout, how I want to use this weeklies. As I mentioned, I'm already using horizontal weeklies, so I'm planning to use them in a very similar way. And what I do today is, I'm sure similar to a lot of you, is on the left side I'm writing daily happenings and also any kind of appointments that take place, and on the right side I dedicate it to whatever I need that week. I have a shopping list when it's time to shop for groceries. I use it as a free space for any kind of ideas or to-do lists. In my weekly right now, I have actually a habit tracker that's already pre-designed in there that I use. I've been going back and forth with myself to see how I want to do it here. As I mentioned, I was thinking to use this annual tracker, to track my habits. Actually quarter trackers to track my habits, but I might also do it on a weekly basis since I'm already in that week, rather than keep on flopping back and forth. For that, there are 3 ways I can do it. I can either use a sticker, which I've already been looking into, and I might actually design one of my own and just put a sticker with a tracker already on it. I can draw it by hand, which probably the easiest to do, but also I know it will take me extra time, so I don't want to put any friction, and I'm afraid if I need to draw it up, I might just not do it. So the third way is to use a stamp that has a tracker in it, and let me actually show you what I got. So I was looking on Amazon for both options, stickers and stamps to use for trackers, and I found this giant kit of clear stamps, and has all kinds of stamps in it, including the habit one. So let me show it to you. So this kit is actually pretty neat. It has all kinds of stamps. If you're a person who uses like a bullet journal or any kind of blank notebooks that you turn into a planners, I think it's a really good deal. I think this whole set was like $9. As you can see, it has the calendar with months over here. It has days of the week stamps, so if you want to stamp out on the side Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth. It has hours. It has like the mini date stamp. It has the squares if you want to like a checklist. Here's another checklist with the date, and then you can write what you're tracking and then check it out. There is a circular one. There are two kind of a dot grid kind of a stamp. It has breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of one, which by the way I might use on here. Was one of my ideas of how to use this side is also to pre-plan lunch, even though I've seen people plan lunch here, especially on Stacey's Hardened Plans. That's what she does. She splits this sometimes in 2, sometimes in 3, and she would put breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or lunch and dinner here. I think it's a brilliant idea. There is a sleep time one. There are stars if you're doing, for example, book reviews. And finally, this is the one that I wanted to get. As you can see, there is a tracker here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots, which is perfect because I track from 6 to 7 different things every day. And then all you do is you blot it with the ink. You stamp it on, you put in what you're tracking here, sleep, vitamins, and so on, and then you just check off. Or you can dedicate the stop line to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, blah blah blah. So this is the one I'm thinking to use for my tracking during the week itself. And then the other ones, there is a movie list, there is just a regular calendar where you can write in your dates, write weekly challenges. I think it's an excellent kit that can be used in here or in any bullet journal where you need to fill in these kind of things, the calendars, trackers, week numbers, week names, and things like that. So basically, overall, the plan for the weeklies are on this side: appointments, daily happenings, what my schedule is like at my work, if there is a payday, if there is a dinner at in-laws, we're going somewhere, or if there is a vacation. And because this size actually gives you plenty of space, I think I might write some other things, like I might write plans for dinner, what I'm planning to cook for dinner. If not, if I'll find that maybe it takes up too much space, then I can definitely do it on this side. So this side again would be for tracking my habits, to-do lists, shopping list, grocery list, any kind of notes, or when you want to jot something down that is specific for that week, maybe some kind of a little reflection, I can do it on this side. And once the weeklies start, then they just keep on going the same way. So just like all the months are together, the weeks are together as well. And as you can see here on the side, this number is actually refers to the number of the month. So when you look at your planner here, you can see where the months go from one to another. So that's February, March, April, May, and so on. If you want, you can always get tiny tabs. I'm not sure, but I believe Sterling Ink might actually have tabs that you can put here to have tabs here for every month, so you can go directly to where that month starts. If not, you can get them from Coffee Monsters Co. I believe they have very small ones. I also myself got Midori tabs before, which were basically of that size. I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe these would match the size of the tabs that Hobonichi Weeks are using, so you can cross use them. So here are your weeklies, and of course they are here for the full year. And then once the weeklies end for the year, so here November, December, there we go. So this is the end of the year 2025 in weeks. Once that's done, then your dailies begin. And the way daily pages are in Sterling Ink is different from other planners with Tomoe River paper in that they are just blank pages, but they are also numbered. And what I love is that they have edge, they don't bleed. The graph paper doesn't bleed. Again, it is graph paper, which is my favorite. And just like the weekly pages, they have this little tick marks here, here, and here, for you to easily divide it either vertically or horizontally into even sizes. And daily pages can be used in any way you can imagine. Because this planner is called Common Planner, as you can imagine, that was the main intended purpose or suggested use for this kind of planner. And common planning is writing down thoughts, quotes, whatever useful notes you have. There are different ways of people think of common planner, but to me, it was combination of notes I'm taking during the class, or a quote that I heard on interesting fact about something or someone, journaling notes, what have you. Because this portion of the planner is literally just the graph paper that is numbered for every day. As you can see, number 1 starts here, so your weeklies end, and then your daily start. This is number 1, and it goes on through. You have 367 pages. So as I mentioned, page per day, and how many pages you have. And since they're completely blank, they de facto can be like a bullet journal, or it can be a just writing journal, it can be book journal. You can use these pages for whatever you want. Because I tend to write a lot, that's why I went with the full calendar year planner, even though I got it halfway through the year, because I know when I journal, I can go on for more than 1 page per day. So I thought that will be perfect, because there'll be some days when I don't journal and some days when I journal a lot, so it will accommodate that. Because there will be days when I don't journal at all, and then there will be days when I journal a lot. So overall, between those two, I think this number of pages would be perfect. But to give you ideas from all the multitude of videos I was watching from other wonderful creators, these pages can be used for journaling, bullet journaling, notes, common placing, as I mentioned. They can use for memory keeping, affirmation, sketches, reading trackers, different collections, just like you have in bullet journals, to be read list, restaurants to visit, vacation spots, doctor's visits, YouTube video ideas. It can be used, the step tracker, especially with the process tracker, right? Like record it, edit it, upload it, stats, wish list, brain dumps. I mean, the list is endless. When you have a nice thick notebook with a lot of pages, the sky is the limit. So before I open the cover and see how they fit together, some of the things I want to mention that makes me most excited about this notebook. It is made with Tomoe River paper, which is fountain pen friendly, so I'm definitely planning to use fountain pen in here. I have a whole collection of fountain pens, so we'll have to go through them and figure out which one will be dedicated to this one. We will also see how the one that I select actually fits into the cover. We'll see, but I'm definitely planning to use my Mark Plus markers here. All variety of markers and pens that I have here. My fountain pen Preppy, this clickable fountain pen, so awesome. Obviously my Janel Plans, how can I not? And of course, good and tried mild liners, which are so wonderful to use with this paper, and especially these 3 in very gentle colors. I want to use to like highlight the dates the way I've seen other creators do, or just divide the page visually, with use of highlighter without using like harsh lines, but just like gentle highlighting, and not just dividing or highlighting an important event and what have you. I'm definitely looking forward using my Pilot G-Tech in brown, all my various stickers, and all of my various washi tapes, which I definitely have a lot of. I recently also got, speaking of mild liner, this amazing set. So this one has those gentle colors that I showed you, so they're all together here, and also matching vintage Sarasa along with them in like coordinating colors, which, I mean, how cozy is this whole set? I mean, it's like it was created together, to match. I mean, I'm not saying, but that's just how they feel, to go so well together with this pencil board. So definitely looking forward having this planner in fall with these gorgeous colors. All right, so now to the cover. Because I mentioned this one has a soft cover and I can just carry it like that. There is also a clear cover on cover that Sterling Ink has that I might get, which specifically sized to go onto this planner with its thickness. So there are 2 different sizes to fit the compact one and this full one. I do want to use it with a leather cover just because that's how I like to use my planners. I've seen from many videos that your standard Midori or Traveler's notebook cover, TN cover, does fit this particular planner, but as you use it a lot, and if you especially use a lot of ephemera, it might get a bit too chunky for it. It still fits, but it's, you know, up your liking. Because of that, what I decided to do is to get a cover from my favorite cover company, September Leather, same company as the one that I got my most favorite cover for my pocket notebook. They also have a TN cover, also with a spine, just like the one that I have for my pocket. And I decided to get that one because I know it's thick enough to be able to fit a thick notebook like that, and it's also thick enough to fit another additional notebook that I've seen in other people's videos. So let's open the cover. All right, I took out the clear cover of screen to reduce the glare, so let me put the planner to the side for a minute. All right, so it comes packaged like this, which I always loved. I have I believe 2 or 3 covers from them already, and they are so amazingly well priced and such a great quality. My pocket one, I've had it for 3 years now, I think, and it's just like amazing. Still looks really great. And let's see, I would suspect this one is done in a similar way. As you can see, comes in a little sleeve. Oh, it's beautiful. So this one, as you can see, it's like a dark chocolate brown. It probably to you looks like it's black, but it's really rich dark brown. The pocket one that I have is a little bit lighter than that. It's more like whiskey, while this one is almost like a dark chocolate. But still, look how beautiful it is. So this one, from my experience with the smaller version from this company, is these covers are treated with a special like a leather solution, and because of that you can actually these covers get weathered very quickly, so it will look like very used and very worldly very quickly. So let me see. Yes, do you see how easily it gets scratched? But because they're covered with the solution, you can also rub it out really well, and so you won't even see that it was there. And that's why my cover that I've had for like 3 years now still looks basically pretty new, because I can just rub it out and it looks like nothing ever happened. As I mentioned, these come with a spine, which the part that I love the most about my cover that I have from them already in the pocket size, because you don't have to force the cover to mold around the notebook, especially if you have more than one notebook inside, because it's already structured with the spine, which I love. So let's open. One thing you need to keep in mind though, because it is covered in this solution, the color itself might rub off on other surfaces, especially if it's light. It will definitely rub off on the paper if it's white, like this pen loop that it has in here. It will leave like a brown residue on the side, so just something to be aware of. You don't have to use the loop and leave it in the back, but I do use the loop in my pocket one, so because of that I have a little bit of brown on my notebook, but I don't mind. And now when we open it, as you can see maybe a little bit better that it's like dark chocolate brown, like a dark chocolate chocolate. And inside it comes with 4 strings, which always appreciate to have that many strings. With my planners, because the planners that I have are thick, I always hang them on the last string. And then over here you also have a pocket. You can fit the pages inside the cover in these pockets here, and then these are for like credit cards or ephemera and what have you. There is a pen loop here. As you can see, it's straight leather, it's not elasticated, so it won't fit every pen, but I use them to put basically the you know, the pens, the holder in it, and that's how it hangs on. But again, you don't have to, you can just leave it flat and just leave it behind the planner. Now all the planners or notebooks that I use with my cover, I always just thread them. I don't fit them into the cover itself. I don't know if this one will fit or not. Let's try. I don't know, I cannot guarantee because I've never used it that way. Yeah, it won't fit like that. It's basically designed to be used for TN specifically, meaning your planners have to hang in your elastics, and that seems to be the case here. Now there are 2 ways I can do it. I can fit it straight into elastic, and as I mentioned, I usually do it on the last page, not to because I don't want to split planner like in half and it gets all weird. Or what I've seen people do is they get that clear cover from Sterling ink, and then they thread the cover here and then put the planner into the cover, so the elastic basically is between the clear cover and the planner, so then planner doesn't need to be fed through elastic itself at all. I might do it in the future. I don't have clear cover right now. Maybe I should have gotten it, but we can for now just fit it between into the back elastic. There we go. Just like my moleskin fits, so you can see it just like that. And then if you cover it, as you can see, it fits just fine on each side, because this specific cover is designed to hold a whole bunch of inserts. It definitely fits this one no problem, even though this is like a 500-page notebook. And of course then you just put elastic around it and voila, no problem. So definitely a wonderful fit for that notebook. And of course the fact that it's like dark chocolate and then you open and then you have this gorgeous burgundy, like they so play off each other wonderfully. And then my pencil board in here, very cute. And then as you can see, just from using it, I scraped it scratched it over here, but then I can always rub it off and then it will go away over time. As far as the pen, I have so many different pens I can use with this. As I mentioned, we'll definitely use this one because it is a very fine, I believe it's 0.38 or 0.4 nib, and because the squares, the grid in here are 3.5 millimeters, it's very small. It's the best to use it with a finer pen. Of course you can write on 2 squares at the same time, which makes it kind of like almost like a 5mm grid kind of deal, slightly bigger. But I plan to do that, like especially when I do long writing. I tend to write pretty big, so I might write basically on 2 squares at the same time, so it doesn't bother me that the grid here is pretty small. So I might use this one. And as I mentioned, I have a number of fountain pens. This is like probably like half of my collection, if that. This one is nice and fine, clickable. I mean, I don't know if green will really go well with that, but they do come, I believe, in this color as well. Platinum Preppy is such a wonderful and expensive pen, but writes so amazingly. This one is 03 fine, so definitely will work well. And the gel cleaner is always answer for any good paper. I also have a bunch of fountain pens here, including, let me see what we have. I have another Platinum Preppy in the special edition, which is wonderful. I have the Pilot here. I have this Scrivener pen that my friend sent me from England. Definitely a contender, especially since it has gold and it goes well with this brown. I might actually use, so I have my TWSBI. I have a couple TWSBIs. I will try them out. I mean, I love TWSBI so much. I also have this Moonman, a clickable pen in black. I believe this one is a fine nib, so might be a contender, so we'll see. So yeah, I have definitely don't have any shortage of options here to for the writing instrument to have with this planner. I'm very excited to be able to have this pretty portable package that has all these pages and all these different options for planning, trackers, calendars, you know, weekly, monthly, quarterly, daily. I mean, we've gone all over them with detail, I hope. So I'm definitely looking forward to using it. Very functional planner. And of course, I'm very excited to have Tomoe River paper, meaning I can use my fountain pens, but also my various highlighters and so forth, because this paper tend to do well with these kind of writing instruments. I have this gorgeous cover to use with it. One of the things I've seen, I believe it was either Plan with Lee or Liberty Schoolhouse, I believe Liberty Schoolhouse videos, where she also has a standard TN notebook here, or I can get a thinner notebook also from Sterling ink that is kept in this first elastic. and she uses it specifically for a reading journal, which I think it's so cool, because even though this notebook has plenty of space to track your books and so forth, the fact that she has like a dedicated notebook that is not huge but still fits in this package with its regular planner, I thought it was genius, because then I can have the dedicated notebook just for my reading, but it's always coming with me, even though I'm mostly using my regular planner, right? Rather than having it as a separate notebook and then have to look for it or reach out for it if I happen to be reading while I'm somewhere where I'm also planning. So I'm thinking to do that. I do have a couple of standard TN notebooks, your regular inserts that we're all used to. And in fact, I believe I do have one in dot and or in graph paper, which will work perfectly, especially when, even though reading journal is mostly line paper, right, like to write, but then when you want to do like how many stars, or just plan out your TBR list, or maybe draw some shelves, the bookshelves, for your shelfie, I believe graph paper or bullet dot grid paper is like the perfect one to draw all of that out. Anyway, that's just some of the things that I'm thinking to add to here. I also have this linen wallet insert that I currently use in my other TN. I'm thinking to maybe use it here, or clear pockets with Ziploc kind of enclosure to use in here. There is I have that actually on its way to me from Amazon. It will arrive in about a week, to be able to hold stickers in there. So then if I want to take stickers or maybe washi cards and stuff like that along with me in this small package, I can just put them in that kind of a zip pocket. And the one that also holds like images and photos and stuff like that. I believe it's called like credit card holder / zip wallet or zip pocket. I'm thinking to try it and see how it looks in here, to be able to have it kind of like all in one. So we'll see. I'll share this planner with you as I use it. My hope is that I can use this till the end of this year to see how it works out for me, since I've been enjoying Horizontal Weekly for about 2 months now. And if it works out well and I find myself using this regularly, and I find myself that this planner is serving me the way I need it to, then I will consider getting it again for 2026 calendar year. And I believe Sterling Ink already has 26 out. So if you excited as I am about this type of a planner, definitely look into it. There are so many beautiful cover colors. She has one that's like tweed, like a gray and white tweed cover. I'm totally adoring that. I think it's so cute. So I might get that color for next year if I end up settling on the horizontal and one. But otherwise, I think I'm good to go to start in here. As I mentioned, today is August 1st. I want to start this as of clean month, so I will back plan a little bit. So then it has August from the start, and maybe even July for some of the trackers. So my Q3 is all in one piece. Otherwise, I'm very excited. Cannot wait to write out my goals for the rest of this year in here. Start planning and start tracking in my trackers, and definitely will share this with you on this channel as I'm working my life through this planner. And if you like this kind of videos, please subscribe. In the comments down below, let me know what you're thinking about this planner size. Do you use a common planner in N1, or do you use a traveler size notebook or a planner in your daily life? How are you liking it? What are your favorite uses for the weekly versus monthly versus quarterly the spreads? If you're using something like this, let me know. I'm always on lookout for the best use of the planners and notebooks that I have. And otherwise, thank you so much for being here with me and sharing with me this exciting moment, and I will see you later in another video. And until then, you take care. Bye.